Good morning, everyone. Sunday morning, and just before this clicks over, I just want to show you Captain Goog doing 7.9 knots at the moment, and I'm not sure what the position's about to drop over in another minute or so. Abelish was doing 6 knots, and Kirsten was doing 6.2 knots, but it's looking like there's no wind there. And in a minute, we'll probably see that they haven't done a lot of miles in the last 4 hours. Anyway, Simon running down the wire, they're doing 7 knots as well. So, anyway, all kind of interesting. Jeremy's got a bit of breeze there, and we'll come back to them in a minute. Guy has been doing zero point 0.4 of a knot in the last 4 hours, and Arnaud been making 3.8 knots. So that will, as I say, in another minute or so. There it goes. It's just rolled over. So Guy, he sped up from 0.4 of a knot to 2 knots in the last 4 hours, and Arnaud doing 3 knots on his way up to St Helena, not looking so good. Anyway, the speed of Elliot dropped back. He was doing 4 knots a little while ago. Now he's only doing 2.3 knots. So again, extremes of weather for these guys. Ian managed 6.3 knots, which is kind of nice. So we'll just blow this up a bit, and then we'll go through the weather on the tail end. As you can see, there's sort of holes all over the place, potholes I call them. Very hard to predict. It's not a constant green slope there anywhere, and not looking good. So Ian will be happy with that. He's on 40 degrees south now, so I'm assuming if I was him, I'd be probably plugging that one all the way along now. But anyway, we'll see what happens. He's got to sail the weather, so not a lot going on there, but let's just roll that through so we can concentrate on the others in a minute. So we've got this is tomorrow, big hole there. It's going to affect Elliot and Ian, so not going anywhere fast, and Guy should be on a roll, so that's kind of nice. That's on tomorrow, and then the next day, where are we? Come on the 7th, 2 days ahead. Okay, so Ian and Elliot are sailing again, looking good. Guy's coming across. He should still be okay for a couple of days. And then third day along, if we go to the 8th, so this is the third day. Ooh, jeepers, Guy's probably going to be okay coming across here, although he might be hooked up in there somewhere then. And Elliot, problem is it's going to go around to headwinds, so not looking good. He's going to be frustrated for sure. Anyway, no storms, that's the main one, and they're probably right on a par with Suhaili. Suhaili's going to be probably up here soon, just in front of them. So we'll now go back, and we'll concentrate on the the front group, I should say. See what's happening. Had a few people saying, have we told Simon he's close to the line and all this sort of stuff? And I said, no, we haven't, because he's playing the game. That's what I'm explaining here. He has been in clouds for a little while, but now let me have a look at the clouds here. Clouds, boom. Yes, he's in clouds, but I'm not particularly worried at all, and I'll tell you the reason why. If we go back to wind, you can see here he's got the option at any time. Oh, this is 3 days ahead, but right now, that means the clouds might be different. But anyway, right now, if he wants to go north, he can go north. But he's sticking there because it's a shorter distance to sail to Hobart. If he's down south here, he knows he's close to the zone. It's his responsibility. He's not worried because he knows the wind's coming from the southwest and he can always blow north. So he's running along the wire, and if he did something went wrong and he went in the zone, he'd pay the penalty, but he's nearly through it. So that's not a problem. Okay, Captain Goog was doing the 7.9 knots a minute ago. Wonder what's going on here now. 7.3, and I wouldn't be surprised if we check the currents on the fleet. Oh no, he's doing okay. So there's no big current boost. There might be a little bit there, but he's just flying. You're loving the conditions. Jeremy's just missed that other current there. No current benefit for Kirsten or Abelish, so it's all about the wind right now. So we'll go back to that, and I'll just drop it back one more size so you can see a bit about what's going on. There's this quite intense low pressure system here, a bit of a storm, bit of a gale, call it what you like. There's plenty of wind down here. Fortunately it's south, and Simon's just been running the edge of it. And Kirsten and Abelish, okay, they were doing 6 knots, now 3.6, because there's that lack of wind. Kirsten's 1.7 knots, so it kind of looks funny because hang on a sec, What's going on here? Oh, I hadn't shipped back. But yeah, that's that hole we were talking about yesterday. It's going to slow him up, and Simons just keep on rocking along. So you're going to see the gap increase a little bit here. But the good news is this seems to be moving quite fast, or changing quite fast anyway. Jeremy's got quite a lot of breeze there, and he'd be 30, 35s, gusting maybe to 40. It wasn't worth a weather alert because it was right on the edge of our limit. We leave them alone, leave the entrance to face their own Southern Ocean situations, but it's quite demanding. But he's making good speed, 6.2 knots, and he's right on course. And there's no sudden wind changes. You've certainly got the northwest there, then it's going west-northwest, and then it'll turn into a westerly. So it's a slow transition, and that shouldn't make for a dangerous sea. Just a typical Southern Ocean sea, probably wave heights around about 4s to 5s. Yeah, 5s. There's easy a good 5 there, maybe even a bit more if we come in. It's 4s and 5s, maybe occasionally bigger. Goog's got medium sea. Kirsten's sort of averages in the 3s and coming up to 4. Simon's getting big stuff here now. Because it's been building over time, so he'll be rollicking along in that. And I should say there was Katie Strickland did an article, a really good one about him, but she said in there that I'd mentioned that Simon was it's all because of luck. That's not quite right. The missing the fact that he's in the lead sort of thing. I never really said it's because of luck. He's a very good sailor. He's very competent with the weather and this, that, and the other. I would have said he's had a bit of luck as well. Just a little bit. That goes up and down. He's been at sea now for months. Sometimes you get a bit of luck. Sometimes you don't get luck. So, but I never want to detract from Simon's expertise here. I've always known he's an amazing sailor, good sails, well prepared boat, all that sort of stuff. So he's not in front just because of luck. And anyway, I had a bit of a smile. But Katie does great profiles and stories. She's really doing some fantastic coverage on Yachting Monthly. So that's good to see. Okay, so that's the sea state. We come back to the wind again now, and we'll roll it forward. And see what we've got, and then I'll do the distances and ETAs to Hobart. So I'm just going to animate this, click it every once an hour, and hope that's moving. You can see it going through. Jeremy, the system's moving forward, it's catching up with Goog, so his wind is slowly increasing. Sea state will be building, and not until midnight tonight that Abelish is going to get some breeze again. Then you've got a situation where Kirsten's lagging behind a bit. And all this time, while they've been going slow, Simon's been ticking along fine. And then I think he's going to keep going here because that area of very little wind is actually moving up a little bit. It's going a little bit northerly component, so it's not going to hit Simon. He'll keep sailing quite fast too because the sea will die off and he's got a nice following breeze. So Kirsten and Abelish then get a kick. Jeremy is going to go a little bit quiet, and Goog's going to carry on. So nothing dramatic there, but Abelish and Kirsten have lost out a little bit by the look of it in terms of the overall game. That's 2 days ahead there, 2 and a bit days ahead. There's a little system forming up down the back, but I think it'll miss Jeremy because these guys will move ahead. No, they'll get the influence of that, but it's no headwinds as such. They're above it, so it's going to be northerlies and northwesterlies and then southwesterlies as that goes over them. But it looks like it's going to give another little... Oh, no. By the time it gets over to where Kirsten it's a bit slow. So, again, Simon being in the front might get a bit of a jump there and may create another gap. So, that's not good for the back end, seeing the leader jump ahead, but that's often how it works. So, we'll get rid of this and then we'll look at the potential for ETAs now. As it's going, it's all a bit tricky. We'll put that one there and this one over here. So I'll put that on Hobart. And Simon's currently a bit over 2,000 miles, so it's a bit over 2 weeks. So if we say 2 weeks, 2 weeks, so it's 14, fifth, that's 14, and it's the 4th, it's the 28th. No, he's going to be there before that. But he's still got a bit of a way to go, so I'm still saying 21, 22 for Simon, and we'll be there on the 19th, I think it is, 15, 16, 17, no, late on the 17th, so he shouldn't beat us there, which is encouraging, because I don't want to buy another ticket. And so let's just say for now, 2,000 miles, 2 weeks, 14, 28th. Yeah, it's going to be a bit earlier than that, but yeah, no earlier than 21st, 22nd. Then with Kirsten's now lost out a bit because of that. Hang on, I'll put him on the bow and Kirsten on the bow. Lost out a little bit. She's back at 720. 700 miles is the magic figure. She got closer, got down to 660 at one stage, but now back to 710 or 14 or something like that. So lost out, and she might lose out some more with that other bits and pieces. Abelish is just a statistic, a bit of a thing. There's a little island just there. In about another day, Abelish will be at the longitude of where he had the accident in 2018, and I'm sure he's looking forward to getting the other side of that. So sometime late tomorrow, he'll cross that zone, and he's then entering into new territory, although he has, as you probably remember, sailed solo non-stop around the world previously. He was the first Indian to do so back some time ago. So a bit of a anniversary coming up for Abelish there, and that's really about it. Yeah, so Simon's 700 miles is about 5 days. So Simon was in on the 22nd. Kirsten would be in on the 27th or thereabout, and then Abelish is about 300 miles behind. Is it 300? Let's have a look here. Maybe a bit less. No, it's about 300 miles behind, so that's 2 days. So if she was the 27, 28, 29, Abelish would be in on the 29th. So that's pretty cool. And then distance to Gug from Abelish, another 500, but about 4 days later, so maybe the 3rd or 4th, something like that, and so it goes. On the leaderboard, you can follow that, and you can also look at GGR Underground website for ETAs, which is sometimes, a week ago it was not so accurate, but as it gets closer, the ETAs on GGR Underground is actually pretty cool. Yeah, just daily runs for yesterday. Simon 167, Kirsten 157, and Abelish only 65, 120 for Gug, 145 for Jeremy, and 108 for Ian Herbert Jones, and 95 for Elliot. So not too bad. I'll probably do the Q&A for GGR in about an hour, I think. I think I'm going to set up for just after 10 o'clock our time. It's a grey overcast day. It's only just getting light here now. The days are very